detecting toggle of the day, May the 1st, 7:20 a.m. So XP has unveiled their new coil for the Mighty Deus 2, the HF2 coil. So what is this going to offer, folks? Well, we know it's going to offer something because of its actual size. So it will detect targets, possibly in the wild, that the 9, the 11, or the 11 by 13 won't do. Alright? What about this frequency, though? You know, when multi-frequency come out, the frequency, you know, was sort of capped when it came to high frequency, wasn't it? When they first started making these detectors, remember that V3i by Whites? They kept the frequency on that baby about 22.5 kilohertz. And I believe that FBS line, FBS2 line, was capped at about 25. And then the old Equinox showed up, and I believe the frequency got a little higher. You got the Legend, the Deus 2, with the coils it was released with, more or less. Now we've got this higher frequency coil. And it's smaller. Now, I'm talking about the Deus 2, but let's switch to the Manticore right quick. You know, I'm fair. I want all companies to be the best they can be. Thomas Jankowski says the Manticore with a M8 coil currently is the best thing since sliced bread made for a metal detector on a salt beach on micro jewelry. Alright? You see where I'm going in this video? But I don't believe that Manticore with that M8 coil is going to use the frequency that this new HF2 by XP is going to do, huh, right? It's going to be higher frequency. So what does this mean on a salt beach? The thing is rated waterproof to 20 meters. I think I read correctly. So could this coil be the gold chain slayers, what I'm saying? Is it possible? I don't know. If it is, though, it may take the top spot away from Manticore with the M8 coil. You know, if it outperforms it. I don't know what it's going to do. Now, one thing to note, and I don't have this coil. You notice on the specs page of that coil that XP has on their site, it gives two bands. 9 to 90 and 9 to 53 kilohertz. I find that a bit strange. You know what I suspect? Now, I don't have the call. I'm not talking to anybody that's ran the call testing it. Is that 9 to 53 kilohertz band they speak on there, is that the actual beach program modes? Frequency allowed. Just pure speculation, but still. If you can get into that 50 kilohertz range with that call on that salt beach and it'll run stable, what does that mean? And also when you apply this to the gold nugget, the smaller gold nuggets in that high mineralized ground, what does this mean? You know, this owner of this company, he's no fool. And you can almost bet your sweet ass that they have looked long and hard at this Manticore in their little laboratory too, haven't they? Which you can't blame a company. You got to know what your competition's doing, right? Maybe you set your goals, you know, to meet or exceed That's what I would do. Doesn't mean you can do it, but if you can, that's nice, ain't it? Some dealers evidently are taking pre-orders. There's one I called yesterday, though. I called him twofold, but I did ask him about the call. He was not taking pre-orders, but I did pick up another DS2 with just the remote. My remote external speaker died. I could still use it wireless. I just want to use this remote to do videos with mainly, but I did get the 11x13 call. So this will give me all the calls for that machine except for this HF2 coil. Also notice this coil is white. Okay? And that's not by mistake either. There's reason behind that. It has to do with temperature, I believe, stability. Alright, so this coil may turn out to be a hot dog on Salt Beach, and it may be a hot dog and the gold fields. And the other question out there is can this higher frequency even make some finds in iron that say the HF elliptical call for the DS1 may struggle with? Because remember, the DS1 HF elliptical, it had a 30 kilohertz band, 27 to 31, and then from there it jumped all the way up to 74, give or take. So there's a void using that coil, meaning the frequency goes exceedingly high. Maybe you get so high and you're looking for more typical targets in the wild state relic hunt, maybe it don't pay off. Okay, there has to be a point of, we'll call it a point of no return. I'm no engineer, you know, I do have some electronics training though. I'm no fool, I don't think. Well, anyway, that is going to conclude the detecting talk of the day. I will be looking forward to seeing the results of this call on the Salt Beach and in the gold fields. And I don't do either one of those. How about that? Have a nice day.